adult walking around with dolls is suspicious.
Lots of people are into that stuff. It's perfectly normal.
Yeah, I work in a business that manufactures kids' toys.
See? Just a normal guy trying to get through his day.
Next up on the list, herbs.
Wait a minute, we're not done yet? I just want to go back to the inn and sleep for a while. Tasty.
Okay, it's now recording. So as you know, I'm Phil here. Go by Phil Coop Productions, host of the Conversation Podcast. So I have a special guest with me today, but go ahead and introduce yourself. Who's Dakota Farnsworth I'm speaking to this afternoon?
Hi there, my name's Dakota Farnsworth. I'm a voice actor. You might have heard me in projects such as Project Eden's Garden, My Hero Academia, Vigilantes. I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. I've been in Urbano as Vilo. I've been, I'm in Oribus as Nuriel, and then the list kind of goes on. But what is it? This year's been pretty great, and so I'm looking forward for 2026 to be absolutely kick butt. So,
me too. I got plans for traveling to places, so
let's go. Let's go. Where are you going?
So, trying to go to more conventions.
Oh heck yeah! Okay.
So yeah, I had a little setback. If I knew something like this was going to happen, I would have planned better. But you live and learn, right?
Right. Yeah, it happens. You know, that's where it's like, yeah, it happens. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, before we get into it, let's do a little bit of an icebreaker. What are your top 3 Shonen Jump villains?
Shonen Jump villains. I assume you don't mean just anime. I honestly, wait, what is it?
Yeah, it's anime. Yeah, it's anime.
Okay. Gotcha. No, what is it? Yeah, I was like, wait, is it like, are there specific like anime that aren't in Shonen Jump? Got it. Okay. Let's see. I would say my top right now is Attack on Titan. So I would say the villain for that I enjoy, but it's kind of a spoiler, so I'm gonna hold off on that.
Oh, okay.
I would say Sukuna from JJK is up there as well. And then I would say Light Yagami is also up there, but not in any like particular order, those 3.
Okay, that's good. That's nice. You know, I have some top 3 villains, but I want to pick your brain first. Be like, okay, so my top 3 villains are Oromachi from Naruto.
Ooh, okay.
Then you got, you know, one of my other favorites, it's Frieza from Dragon Ball.
Oh, Frieza's good. Okay.
So, and then, you know, All for One from My Hero.
Oh hell yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have not seen the recent season. I do need to jump back on that before I watch final season.
Oh, you better hurry, because episode 162 is this Saturday. I be posting what's coming up on this weekend on the next episodes.
Oh
it's
no.
Just me.
I gotta catch up quick. Yeah.
So all right, but let's go ahead and now that we're done with the icebreaker. I always start with the icebreaker first before we get into it. Let's go ahead and start. So the way I've done this is there's 20 questions and there's 5 questions in each section. So 4 sections. Cool. It's gonna be good. But I got some really good, powerful questions for you.
Let's go. I'm excited.
So now let's start with chapter 1, origins and career journey. Now, you started building your voiceover career during the pandemic. Am I correct?
That's correct. Yep.
All right. Take me back to that turning point. What was the first project that made you think I can do this for real?
That would definitely be Project Eden's Garden. What is it? I was very fortunate that it was my first professional project, and I popped off that game popped off pretty quickly. And so that made a lot of other things possible, and a lot of the creatives that were in that kind of helped me networking into all these other fields as well. So I would definitely say Project Eden's Garden. We went to a convention for that. What is it? It was weird to see. It's weird to see. What is it? People cosplay as your character for the first time. It's just like a surreal feeling. Yeah, it was. I would definitely say Project Eden's Garden was the one. It definitely set a precedence of the things that I'm here to do, which I would say it's inspiring a lot of creatives to really challenge themselves to, you know, take steps they're not sure if they can do, because what is it? Project Eden's Garden, it was a free production, it was nonprofit, and we were able to accomplish so much with such a unit of a team, and I just cannot be more proud to be a part of it.
Okay. Yeah, I know during the pandemic, I know like a lot of you guys had to stay in your house for like a couple of years because I know most people like do their voice recordings at home. Like, because I know some of you guys do have home studios.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and it worked itself out. Hey, listen, when during the pandemic, I was in college, of course, but I picked up Twitch streaming, so I kept doing video game walkthroughs. So I was like, I guess I could just express myself doing video game walkthroughs until I went back to college and got deeper into my major, which was digital media production and journalism.
Got you. Yeah.
So I got a degree in that. So I just
Congrats on
kind of
that.
figured. So I kind of figured now that we're in 2025, I know people are still doing at home work. So
Yes.
it's not used because I will tell you this, Dakota. Like I haven't been to a single convention since June. So it's been kind of hectic, but I was like, doesn't mean I'm out of the game yet. I mean, I'm still finding ways to put myself out there, even if I don't have the money to go to these places.
Honestly, that's been kind of a similar issue. I think June was the last time I went to one too, whenever WeebCon was. And I just have not had the time nor the money to start jumping into more cons.
Yeah, so it's so yeah, pretty much like if we can't get these places, let's find something else to do. Like, so pick this thing up, it's working. This is blowing up so far because I'm having the chance to talk with each of you guys instead of just trying to like, oh, I gotta find a way to get to this convention they're gonna be at. But this is working out for me so far. But yeah, I'm going back to you before I go off topic.
Oh no, it's really cool. I'm glad that you found a system that works, and like it works really well.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing for all you guys. I think the way that you have like home studio set up in your houses, y'all get to do all incredible work. I say keep doing it.
Heck yeah, me too. I definitely think I think home studio recordings is eventually going to be where we start seeing a lot more big professional work out, which we are seeing it right now, but I think that's only going to increase as time goes on.
I believe so. Next question. How did your theater background and psychology classes change the way you approach a character? Because you did say you had a psychology class, right?
Correct. So there was a guy from Brazil that I studied under for a little bit. And so I ended up also shadowing under him as well. And so he was teaching me the ins and outs of psychology. Was not everything like super in depth, but just how to like practice the therapy side of things. And so upon working through all of that, the connection that I felt to people, I started taking a lot of the character work that I would do, and I started trying to connect to the characters as if they were like friends. And so I always find that that's been the best way to go for me, is that it helps me feel like I fully understand a person through psychology, like through knowing what the tics are, knowing what's going on in someone's head at all times. I think I treat a lot of character analysis like a therapy session where I'm going through, okay, why do you react to this in this way? Why do you like these things? Why do you dislike these things? What could possibly be the stories that are coming up that are associated with those, which aren't always clear. And I more or less I treat character analysis like a therapy session, I would say. And then my theater work has been a lot more prominent, especially recently, because I know Crunchy's doing a lot more with like realistic down to earth reads. And I know for a lot of video games, like I usually read like a line and then I go off to another line, and it's not quite as fluid as animation is. So I've been able to use that degree a lot better recently, and I feel like I'm only improving. So I would say that's how those have affected everything.
Okay. Yeah, because one thing I've learned from paying attention to all these games and movies and TV shows, like I know every character has gone through some sort of backstory trauma. So it's important, as voice actors, that y'all understand what this character went through. What kind of bad experience did they have? Like what kind of tragedy that happened to them that make them act this way in the show? Pretty much in that same, if you see where I'm going with this.
For sure. Yeah. And that was something important with and going back to Eden's Garden. When I did Eden's Garden, the character I play, Kamatiago, he's an influencer, and he's very nervous around people who don't know who he is. And so that was interesting to kind of break down of like why is this guy only like social around people who know his name. And I realized it's because influencers have such a, like, the word influencer, not saying influencers are bad, but definitely there's a lot of influencers out there who have like a negative like perception because they're influencers. And so I took that and I went, maybe Kai feels this way because anyone who hears that for the first time he's an influencer as a first impression, people are just immediately not going to like him, or at least that's what he thinks is what they're going to think. So I ended up kind of going with that for the audition, and I hit it right on the mark, and that ended up being exactly what the writers were going for. And so I felt pretty good about that one.
That's nice. And what I like about you too is that you did the research on the character. I think you understood what he went through before you got into, because here's the thing, most actors won't go do research on a character.
Mm-hmm.
Most, not saying all of you, some, okay, I did say most,
oh,
but
some
of you guys will do research on a character, not all of you. Y'all just go and just do whatever feels like, hey, this is how it feels to the character. My advice is, and whoever's listening, I would rather do the research on the character before I just step into the studio. Pretty much so I can get a clear idea of what the people are looking for in this certain person when they start watching the show.
Yeah, and that makes sense. What is it? I do agree that I do run into a lot of actors who definitely try to put the voice before the character. And I've caught myself in that trap before too, of like trying to make the voice sound good and being like, wait a minute, but I'm not like being the character anymore. So like you have to sort of catch yourself, because it's something that me and one of my coaches, Richard, we talk about is we wish it was called talk over, not voiceover, or talk acting, not voice acting. So that way people don't have this immediate assumption that you're supposed to make a voice going into it. Does that make sense? I agree. I think that I think people definitely I told a lot of newer actors how to improve is that if you've never done a stage play, do stage plays, because you get a lot better at script analysis, and you get a lot better at learning beats. And I think that helps a lot. And I think for audition, something that's funny about what I do with auditions, and a lot of people kind of like tease me for it, but whenever I have a character, I am writing down like journals full of notes about them. And it's because I want to know as much as I possibly can, because being specific about every little detail always brings out the best performance. And so there are some auditions where I will spend over a day just like making sure I have notes on them before actually jumping into it, because I want to make sure it's being performed with care of who they are and what's going on with them.
That's nice. And listen, I be telling people, and guess what? A lot of people have been liking, I've been getting a lot of DMs in my messages saying, those are really powerful questions you came in with. I'm like, well, I always bring receipts. I don't come empty handed. And same thing in your case, bring receipts. Make sure you have notes on you. Do the research.
Yes.
Listen, that is going to help you in the long run.
It does. And I actually, there's a show for something else, not Crunchy related, but they already have an episode out. And so I basically was actually, that's what the audition I was working on was last night at like 11 p.m. till about 1 a.m. I was just watching the episode the episode they have out over and over and over and over and over again to know as much about each of the characters, what's going on in the world as I possibly could, to the finest detail. So I'm hoping that I definitely can capture this correctly, because I would really like to be a part of it. But nothing's ever guaranteed, but I want to make sure I put in that effort.
Hey, you never know.
For sure.
Never know. What's one belief about voice acting you had when you began that completely overturned?
What do you mean?
Like one belief, something like, I don't know, like is voice acting really what I wanted to do? Like I just feel like you could be doing something else.
I never had that with voice acting. I mean, there's definitely been times where I was like, what if I was doing something else? But like that always got kind of drowned in whatever else I was thinking, because I love this job so much. And I've had other creative pursuits. I tried to be an animator originally. And that I just couldn't, it just wasn't enjoyable enough for me to keep pursuing. And then photography I did for a while as well, but I I love the art of it, but I didn't love the business pursuit of it. Voice acting, though, I enjoy the business of it. I enjoy the business side of it. I enjoy the artistic satisfaction I get out of it. I enjoy the people I meet. I enjoy the places I get to go because of it. I enjoy getting to see life through different perspectives in a way where I walk away from it and it truly sticks with me forever. I think that I've not come across a career that is as satisfying as a human being as voice acting has. So I would say no. I don't think I've ever considered truly quitting.
Okay, because I know some people I think you've heard with imposter syndrome or analysis before paralysis before analysis. Sometimes people like second guess themselves, feel like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. But I think more people are starting to understand, hey, just go for it and see how it works. Because once they will see how it works, it might be something you really want to do. And I think that's why I wanted to ask you about, because I know some people would be like, if it's voice acting really what I want to do, I could be doing something else. But from what you're telling me, it seems like you enjoy the work behind it.
Oh yeah, what is it? I get told I'm weird because I like homework. I like every part of the process. I love. What is it? Script analysis. I consider it like detective work. What is it? So I feel like sometimes as a joke I'll sit like Ellen. I'll do it. What is it? Yeah, I like script analysis. I enjoy the feeling of walking on a tightrope. Like I enjoy the feeling of that, the imposter syndrome you were talking about, where people aren't sure if they're right for it. I like that feeling. And I feel like that might be kind of a weird answer, but I like feeling like I don't know if I can do it, because that makes it exciting for me, at least. Yeah, I like challenges. I like things that broaden my horizon.
I think the most important part is you don't give up.
Definitely
like
not.
once you get started on something, I feel like I think as soon as you get a certain rhythm going, you'll start to understand it's easier than it sounds. Like sometimes it's not as hard as it seems.
Yeah, it's I feel like that's what is it? Yeah, I think you're totally right on that. I think when you start any project, I think when you start voice acting and you get in your first project, I think that's when that rhythm starts, because now you're on a team setting, everyone's working together to complete the same thing. You feel very committed to it, and you almost feel obligated to it in like a positive way, where you signed up for this thing and it's time to get it going. And then by the time you finish it, I feel like the finishing of it is always the most satisfying part, because you can sit there and go, I just did that. I spent my time, did that thing. I feel like I'm much better than I was before. Let's do it again. And then it just starts this process of this constant cycle of trying to get even better. And I always think that's great out of newer actors.
That's sweet. But yeah, every time I do something, I just say a quick prayer before I go in.
Heck yeah.
Which audition or early role taught you the most, and what specific lesson did it teach you?
So actually it was one of my first auditions, and it was one that I did not get. It was for a it's kind of a dicey subject. What is it? It was for a game that was like a competitor to Yandere Simulator. And I remember sitting in my room every single day, trying over and over and over and over and over again until that deadline came. And I remember being so attached to the character at that point. And I got really far in the audition process. I got top 2 in it. And it was a pretty big one on CCC. And I remember when the results came out and I didn't get it, and I like cried my eyes out. But when I sat there and I like really thought about it, because again, it was one of my first, so like very, very, very start. When I sat there and I really thought about it, I went, you know what? But it was never ever guaranteed to me. But I had a really good time. And so that's helped me move forward into trying out all of these different things. And I think that's where a lot of the me trying to challenge myself comes in, where I didn't, even if I didn't get it, I had such a blast trying my best because I still felt the character and I felt like I was the character and I got the opportunity to be that character for a while. Even though I didn't get to do it in long term, I got to do it for a little bit. And that was still enjoyable enough for me to go, well, damn, I'm going to try for another one and I'm going to see if I can get that next one. Right. And so I can go live in that. I can go live in another bubble for a little bit and try it there. And then when I finally got training and I was starting to be more consistent about it, that's when a lot of these started popping off. So I would say that.
Well, like again, go ahead and try it out. And I know, and I can tell, like every time you try something new, it does become an emotional roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine if I just started like if I wanted to go into space or something? I'm just scared of heights.
Yeah.
But after I come back down, I had a great experience. I was really emotional. I thought I was going to see Earth again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of like those similar situations, and your crying thing and everything. Actually, I will tell you this, Dakota. One of my previous episodes, when I was talking to one of my previous guests, she's a SCAD student here in my hometown. There's a college called SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. Her story made me so emotional that I did start crying a little bit. So
Hey.
I was like, I didn't want you to see me like this, but she said, "No need to apologize. You're fine." So
Got you. I gotta listen to that one then. If that was that crazy of a story, I'm glad it worked out for her.
it did. Like I said, if I can spare at least a few minutes picking your brains, sure, let's work something out. But going back to you, yeah, you sounds like you knew. I know you had some goosebumps. Be like, oh, this is my first time doing something. This is something I need to do to get ready. I'm nervous. How's this going to turn out? Basically, going back to the previous question, like, how's this going to work out? How are we doing this? What am I to expect once we start rolling?
Sorry, reword the question. Apologies.
Oh, wait. Did you hear what I was saying?
I don't think I got all of it potentially.
Oh, I must have cut out for a second. Yeah, I was saying about you when you first did your first audition. I was asking another question.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I was saying like, I was telling about what you had to go through and just, be like, how are we doing this? How can I make sure this is perfect so everything's good to go on the first try? If you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah. And what is it? Yeah. And I always try to kind of aim for my 100% best of what I think I can do in that moment. What is it? Something I tell a lot of newer actors, and I did this for a while, and I think I'm going to go back to it because I think I need it again. But basically it was every single day audition for something. And then when you're done audition, so when we kind of get that feeling of like, okay, we did it, we have it all done, it's perfect, it's exactly what we want, and then we send it off, and then we're like, no, this was wrong, this was wrong, this was wrong. So my personal opinion on that is that is the perfect time to do analysis on your own work and understand, okay, well, you sent it off, now you're thinking all these things are bad, so why do you think they're bad? Like, what do you think is wrong with this audition? Then you go back. And I usually tell people, I say, take 5 notes of 5 things you could have done better. It doesn't have to be like, oh, it was a bad audition, but it's 5 things you could have done better. Objectively in art, anything could be better. So 5 ways it could have been better. Do that every single time you do an audition for a month. By the end of the month, you should see drastic difference on your performances than the beginning of the month. It's because it's this constant growth mindset that you just keep hitting yourself with, and you keep bringing all these notes into the next one and into the next one, into the next one, into the next one. And over time, that's all going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're just going to be a whole different creative by the end of it.
Well, hey, studying is important, that make sure you know your strengths and weaknesses before you go into the next session as well.
For sure. I think it's good to know your voice. And like, it's good to ask around and like ask people, like, hey, like what are some qualities of my voice that you could point out that maybe I can start focusing on? Like if you were to cast me as something in a show, what would you think from my voice that I would play? And like, those definitely help a lot. And then weaknesses as well. There's weaknesses in your voice, but I still think it's good to try something out. Like there's definitely been times where there was a deeper voice character, and like I have kind of a bass in my voice, but I can only go so low. And I know there's been characters where it's like like that, like classic, like World of Warcraft orc, like that super, super low voice. And I'm like, I can't hit that. But I wanted to make sure I always tried stuff like that because, you never know. You could totally surprise yourself.
True, for true. We're at the end of this section. So number 5, this is the last question out of this session. There will be on the next session, crafting technique.
Cool.
So how do you pick projects now when you first started? How has your criteria for saying yes changed?
So I would say, I would definitely say that a lot of my criteria more or less has stayed the same. I'm big on, do the creators have a vision that is tangible? And that's a weird way to put it, but I'll explain here in a second. But are they organized? Are they, how excited are they about the project? That's more or less what I mean by tangible. Like, one of the rules I have about auditions or about any project is I do not want to be more excited than the person that's running it. I will match their excitement, but if I'm more excited than they are, then I don't know. It definitely comes off to me eventually where I go, are they really that interested in the thing that they're working on? Is this for a resume piece? That's fine. But I enjoy creatives that are really, really trying to push something and really trying to do something big and something that they walk through life thinking about, and they're dreaming about it. They're like, I love bringing these big ideas to life. And if I don't sense the excitement out of the creator, it's something that I start to detach myself from, not on purpose, but it's just like, and there's just this natural, like, I just kind of let go a little bit. Cause I'm not, I'm there to bring the energy and also support what someone else's energy is. So there's that. There's attention to detail. So anytime I see like an audition where things have spelling mistakes, where deadlines keep changing. Deadlines are way too long. Like I've seen deadlines where they go for 2 years. That's crazy. Like you don't know what the production is going to look like in 2 years, I would say stuff like that. I would say, yeah, I would say those are definitely what I focus on are just attention to detail. Like if there's things that are very disorganized, I'm not about it. And then if people just aren't excited about the thing they're working on, then I also kind of start to kind of distance myself and not enjoy it as much.
If you don't match the energy in the room, project is not going to be beautiful when it comes out.
Right.
So it's like every time when someone starts a new project, they have to be excited just as the person should. Well, like I said, not as much more excited. Like I said, match the energy in the room. If the energy in the room is not at the same levels, then it's probably not going to be the way we expect it to be.
Sure. Yeah. And what is it? And for not every director has to be jumping for joy, excitement, they don't always have to show it, but the things that they do in the background, all the work they put in, all of those things tell me how excited they are. And because I know not everyone's bombastic, and I know I can be kind of a golden retriever, but what is it? As long as I see the effort and seeing the evidence that this is truly, they're really, really trying to push for this, then that helps a lot.
Okay. So yeah. So I also know that maybe sometimes the voice actors, they know the directors. And listen, some directors are voice actors too. I can understand that part because they have multiple jobs. But I think it's a mutual relationship. Like voice actors have a good connection with the director because we know him very well. Sometimes the directors know the voice actors very well as well, and that's how they may be able to get through certain things. I think what's most important is that you have a mutual, you find magnetic north, and you just find a way to have this mutual relationship, with the person who's directing, so that way the project can go as smoothly. That way it's not going to be as bad as people think it is after when the final phase is done.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I think that I would say most of the directors that I work with, I'm friends with to a degree for sure. There are a couple directors where I talk to them pretty regularly, and we're just usually just in calls or something on Discord and just kind of hanging out for a little bit. So yeah, no, I agree with that. I think you definitely need to have chemistry. And that's something that's something I definitely miss from theater as well, because in theater, chemistry is kind of unavoidable. but in like a really positive way. And in voiceover, it can be difficult. Sometimes it's very rare when like you see every actor or every person on set in the room together, or every person in the production in the room together. But no, yeah, I agree. I think that those relationships only make the project better.
Yeah, like I say, like sometimes, like I said, like I tell people, like, have a conversation after a project's done. Maybe, talk, maybe come up with some ideas. So for the next project, see how this works. Go out, have some like, time together just to have fun or something. That kind of stuff, if it works.
Yeah, for sure. What is it? That's been happening a lot with like Crunchy as well, where there's a lot of meetups for actors, and I've been to a couple of them, and everyone is super great. I'll see a couple of directors there too sometimes, and yeah, everyone's just vibing. Everyone just has a good time together, and that's always just super rewarding to see. And that goes for indie stuff too.
Yeah. Hey, whatever you guys do, keep doing. Have that chemical, have that chemistry, have those mutual relationships. That's the only way future projects are going to get better. Just talk it out. Have conversations.
For sure. I agree with that.
It's my podcast conversation. So
let's go.
There you go. Because people aren't talking much. So trying to do my part.
For sure. I like that.
So all right. Number 2, craft and techniques. We got some deep dives here. You ready for that?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. It's time for the magic to happen.
Ooh.
Now, walk me through your rehearsal loop for a new role, from the first read to the final take. Where do you spend most of your prep time?
I spend most of my prep time in a journal, actually. I spend most of my time looking at, if it's an audition, I'm always looking at well, actually, it's for both. I always look at the character descriptions, and I'm trying to decipher as much information as I possibly can, until I feel like the character is a real person, or I can make them feel like there's someone in the room with you. And then I'd say physicality is the next biggest thing for me, is making sure like I understand how they walk. I understand how they pick, like even something as simple as like pick up a cup, or how they open a door, or like just stuff like that, because it's little things, but the little things help you kind of like jump right into it. And what is it? Sometimes I'll have like phrases or whatever that I'll say, and I'll say them in a specific cadence in like a specific pose or something, and then I'm like instantly in character. So I feel like when I can get to that level of understanding a character, that's when I'm going to be doing my best. So I would definitely say most of my work goes into the journals and goes into the physicality, because those things end up bringing it out in the recording. So then I don't end up spending too much time in the vocal booth, even though I do spend a lot of time just to make sure like I'm giving what I believe I'm proud of. I definitely think that those first two things are the most important.
Definitely. Listen. You know how often like I've been hearing people keep their stuff in a journal and book. Like, listen, the way I have all my stuff here, I have notes on my phone. I keep everything.
Yeah.
I keep all my interview stuff, my questions and stuff in my notes. So I mean, I barely put stuff in my journal. I was like, I'm usually on my phone. Let me put my information in my notes so I can have it later.
Good. Yeah.
Because one thing I will tell you is Dakota. In my last interview, which was last weekend, I spoke with a SCAD student. She said, "Oh, it's not the same one from before. It's another one." She was saying, and cool. One of my process of creating is keeping multiple different sketchbooks. That way, I can keep track of everything that I draw. She's trying to be an animator,
that's cool.
She has like at least over. I think she has at least over 10 different sketchbooks.
Commitment. I like that.
I dedication. I'm impressed. Most sketch students would just get like 2 to 3 sketchbooks, but she is trying to do something really amazing. So she got 10 different sketchbooks.
Good. That's the attitude you need too. That's the attitude you need to push. Yeah.
Yeah, doing stuff in the journal, because like I said, because I think you're the first person I heard that's doing stuff in the journal. I didn't hear any of the other voice actors putting stuff in journals.
It's definitely an art that I feel like isn't done enough. And again, I like homework, so I'm weird. But like I like knowing what I like knowing as much as I possibly can before jumping in, because all of that information is just going to make the performance better. And I think a lot of it comes from stage work, but I feel like a lot of voice actors, at least the ones I've met, not a lot have had that stage experience and understand why those things help so much. Because I'm sure a lot of them, I'm sure a lot of like newer VAs as well look at a journal and they go, yeah, homework, you know. But which, I mean, it's understandable, but you know, it's definitely something where it's like you need to know what you're doing, you need to know the character, you need to know who you are. And what I say is who you are is like I am, let's say I am Naruto or something. I don't know. Like let's say I am Lowe, as from Guild Receptionist. When I am Lowe, I need to know as much as I possibly can about Lowe in order to play Lowe in a way where the audience is going to be as satisfied as I am.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would say that that's something that I would encourage people jump more into, is note taking.
Dakota, do you know how much reading and research I had to do since March? Do you know how much I had to do? Because here's the thing. I've been like ever since I left Animation, this previous convention, I had to brainstorm and feel like, okay, what else am I missing here? Like, how can I make sure I can document all this experience, the adventures I be on? I did my research and I looked online. I like, oh, people are using GoPro cameras these days. So I've been doing a lot of technology shopping. I went to Best Buy, got me a GoPro camera, because our thing is I'm probably going to be bringing that stuff to conventions now, so I can record all my favorite moments. Because let me tell you one thing: when I was at Bold Missouri in June, I was at this convention, you know, and I've been doing a new series on YouTube called Interactions with Voice Actors, all that stuff. Because to be honest, I was thinking of like, you know, sitting down and talking with them, but I don't know how to do that yet. So until I do, I'm going to have to do another Interactions with Voice Actor videos. And, you know, some of them been liking the stuff I've been putting out there. Listen, you can't imagine how much these guys at these conventions like that I do the research on these things. 2 weeks ago, I put up the schematics on like Anime Week in Atlanta, sorry. And I put up the schematics of the building of the Georgia War Congress Center, because it is a big building. Mm-hmm. So I had to pull up the map, the building infrastructure and everything, and it's in my notes. So that way I know don't get lost.
Good stuff. Yeah. Wow, that's like super committed notes. That's really great.
I just feel like if I can do a little bit of reading, if I can read or do research at least tonight before I go to sleep and wake up the next morning, I can do that, because there's so much I want to understand about. And same thing is what goes with you guys. You want to make sure that you have the character details, you know what they're going through, the voice, the strain in their voices when you start going to the booth. Keep that stuff in the journal. Like I put stuff in my notes. Mm-hmm. It's just pretty much, like I said, that girl has 10 different sketchbooks. Keep having stuff to put information in.
Yeah, because we can't remember it all, you know. Like, well, and like personally, I do better. I do better learning by writing something down that I'm seeing, because even if I'm not like looking directly at the notes, I still retain a lot of it, and so that's enough for me to get through everything I'm trying to do. And then when that character comes back around, I can immediately look. Let's say I book the character. I can look at all those notes I just did and go, awesome. This stuff is going to be, this is the research I already did, and it's going to help me with the actual projects.
Listen, Dakota. Who cares if anyone thinks you're weird? I say keep doing your homework.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Doing your homework.
I take pride in being weird. I take pride in it.
Yeah. Don't listen to them. They're just making noise. So don't pay no mind to them. So.
It's good teasing, but yeah, no, 100%. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing for sure.
There you go. Next question: when a director asks for subtle emotional changes, how do you find and execute those tiny shifts without losing authenticity?
I try to, so as much as I listen to the words they're saying, I'm also listening to the cadence at which they say it, which this has been really great. Manny Aragon did this a couple of times when I was doing Guild Receptionist, where he wouldn't just tell me, oh, you know, like, can you talk a little faster? He would try to like talk a little bit faster, as he said, talk a little bit faster. And then it helped me get the groove, you know. It helped me tell me exactly what he was looking for in that specific moment, because you know, faster could mean anything, but when you give me like specific examples while explaining it, that helps a lot. And I would say that's my favorite, like been my favorite form of directing. So the little adjustments help when you get, I don't know, it's like an audio visual, I guess. I don't know like what's the best way to put that, but no, but I would say that the person who's done that the best was Manny Aragon.
Okay. Yeah, because I know when during the directing, I've learned this is from by watching some of like the sessions y'all be doing, not like in person, but sometimes like videos or something that I might find on YouTube, and I'd be like, okay, so director changes them, they have the subtle changes. Sometimes y'all have to quietly like hide it before y'all have to express it in the next scene.
Yeah,
because I know you're not going to be able to do a lot of moving or something. Okay, maybe y'all do a lot of moving. I'm not sure, but you want to make sure you can do that without any like tiny distractions that take you off the mic, kind of stuff.
Sure. And what is it? I think I definitely think the people that, like, those of us who have probably the most trouble transitioning to that is a little bit of theater people, because I'm used to moving my body around when I'm acting. And even after I've been doing this for about 3 years, and even after 3 years of this, I still feel the need to like move around while I'm acting. And sometimes like Jason Lord, like a couple of times he's been like, Dakota, stop moving. And I'm like, I'm sorry. It's, what is it? They understand it, but at the same time, it's because I'm so in it. I'm not even thinking about the mic. I'm not thinking about the fact I'm in a studio. I'm only like in that like movie in my head, you know? Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that the direction of that extra emotion helps as well, because like hearing it said in kind of a monotone way, which nothing against it, but hearing it in that monotone way does kind of take me out of it a little bit. When I get it in like a certain cadence that fits what's going on, I go, okay, I'm still like in it. I'm still in it. Any hard cutoffs are usually give me some trouble.
And listen, and it's kind of hard to stay still in one place during the entire session. Like sometimes you just feel stiff, and it's like we've been standing there for like 9 hours trying to get stuff done. So it's kind of painful, but you know, it's kind of tricky to do a one sitting, and especially you just have to move around. And I know you guys take breaks in between, because you know you got to take breaks in between. But yeah, that's just a little trick. Like, how do we just stand still for 9 hours or so?
Yeah, and it's difficult. I'd say getting shoes with good lift support is always great. What is it, like getting those like gel paddings in your shoes always helps. But no, like definitely breaks are super necessary. I remember one time I didn't take a break. I was like, nah, I got it. And it wasn't at Crunchy. It was with another project that I did. But we went on for, I think it was like 5 hours straight. We did. And I was wrecked by the end of it. Like I could not, I was on vocal rest for the next 2 days. I was super tired. Whenever I was at work, I was just like, yeah, not great. Wouldn't recommend it. Take breaks.
Well, hey, doing that voice acting will do that to you. But I think as far as you know, but I think as long as you know what to expect, you'll be back up and running the next day.
Agreed. And what is it? It's funny because when you move from theater into voiceover, you don't think about how much physicality something like voiceover needs and how tired you're going to be afterwards. I definitely did not expect my first couple voiceover sessions being like, damn, this is rough. This is hard.
No, listen. When you start voiceover, this ain't theater. You're not going to be able to move like in those big movies they be doing. No, it's animation. The animation characters are doing the moving.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, you forget that, and it's like, yeah. Well, on top of that too, it's just you don't realize how much energy you're gonna exert even from just standing still like that. Like you think you're not going to exert much at all, and then you end up being super tired by the end.
Yeah, that's something, and you guys had to get used to. But looks like you made it work.
For sure. No, it definitely worked out. And what is it? I'm definitely, like, I still have a lot to learn, which we always have things to learn, but no, like I'm very excited about moving to the next steps and just keep going and learning the next thing. And No, it's definitely all worked out so far, but I'm ready. I'm always ready for the next thing. So
Of course, man. Of course. Keep that fire burning.
for sure, for sure.
Now, next one, I think this might be a little important because you need to be concerned about your health. How do you keep vocal health and consistency across multi-session ADR, where a character's emotional arc changes week to week?
I would say a lot of the stuff I already I would normally do, even just from like 1 or 2 voiceover sessions of something. And that's drinking a lot of tea. Tea is your best friend. Making sure you take vocal rest seriously. So even if you don't feel your voice screwed up after a session, I always treat it as if it is. So that way, if there's any damage I don't feel, then that's being taken care of automatically. So yeah, I would say just make sure you're taking vocal rest seriously and make sure that you have tea or you have something that's good for your throat. I would stay away from soda. Which I mean, I personally like soda, but like whenever I know there's like a week I have a ton of voiceover sessions, I do not touch that stuff. Was it coffee as well? Was it clicks in your mouth too are also pretty bad.
Does water count?
Water's good. Well, no, water's good. Yeah, no, drinking water is good, and that's where I say tea as well, because tea is just like water mixed with like supplements, basically. Not supplements, but I don't know, like additives. I don't know the right word to call it other than just tea. But yeah, no, water helps a lot too. Drink a lot of water. Drink tea if you have it. And yeah, just make sure that when you're taking vocal rest, you're actually taking vocal rest. Yeah, those would be my recommendations.
Listen, one thing I tell people when they're doing a session or whatever project they're doing, don't take any chances. Go rest first.
Yes.
Because you're going to need it. Listen, it's okay to take a break if you're tired, but listen, don't do anything that's going to like hurt you and you're not going to be like, oh, sorry, my voice hurts, my hand hurts. I heard so many people who do like a lot of writing and stuff, they get hand cramps because it's a lot of writing.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee some of the writers at Crunchyroll, like James Cheek, Emily Neves, Macy Ann Johnson, don't they get hand cramps from all that writing?
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm totally sure. Yeah. Even the people typing up the scripts, I'm sure they get tired of typing after a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, do what he needs to do. Listen, God gave you one body. You got to take care of it.
For sure. Yeah. No, I think everyone should definitely take breaks. And like, as much as like, I'm definitely kind of a go-getter mentality where like I just like to keep working, but like even I know that I can't just do that all the time. Like I have to take a second and just be like, no, nothing, because it will mess me up down the road if I don't worry about it right now.
Yeah, and plus they need you, sure. They need your voice, so they want you to make sure your voice is in top shape to get ready to do the amazing work that you're about to put out. So. Yeah. So all those things you said, tea, water, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Take those, put the soda away, put it in the refrigerator, pour it out if you have to.
Yes. Very much so.
Just get rid of all that stuff. I mean, I can still drink soda. You're still voice actor, so it don't count for me.
That's fair. Well, listen, alcohol is another thing too. Alcohol before sessions is such a no-no, especially the night before, not even the night before. None of that.
No drink. Yeah, don't drink alcohol. That's gonna make it worse. Stick to what you like. Tea. Like I don't mind drinking tea. I'm used to like peach tea and all that stuff. Drinking water, But yeah, stay away from the Coke products.
Peach tea is my favorite. Love peach tea.
I love peach tea. Like sometimes when I run out, I do go to the store and get some more peach tea to drink. So it's just delicious stuff. I don't drink it too much now. I only drink like at least 1 bottle a day.
That's fair. Which peach tea. I don't know what it is because like peaches aren't like my go-to or anything like that. But like peach tea just slaps. It just hits different.
Yeah, it's really delicious. Oh man, now you make me want to go to the store and get more peach tea.
I kind of want to go get peach tea too.
Sorry, but let's wait till after we're done here.
For sure, for sure.
No, next, so I think you're gonna like this one. Let's talk tech for a second here. How does your home setup, space, mic, software affect your ability to experiment or refine performances?
As of recently, and a big shout out to Corey Wilder. Corey Wilder helped me so much with this home studio, which I thought my last one was really good. This is like the best home studio I've ever had. There's not many limits to what I'm able to do with it. What is it? Ended up getting a Sennheiser microphone, which I wouldn't say it's Neumann level, but it certainly rivals it. It certainly is like getting there. And then the studio space, Corey was just all over making sure that, like, helping me like make sure there was no echoes and it sounded good. So no, oh my gosh, yeah, big shout out to Corey Wilder. It would not be without him.
I saw him a couple times. He is very amazing.
Yeah, he's wonderful. He's wonderful. All the stuff with Gotcha right now totally deserves it. I'm so happy for him. I'm sorry. What is it? Panty and Stocking too. I'm really, really happy for him.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like every single thing they're getting right now, they totally deserve.
Yeah, listen, I tell you, Dakota, all you guys have other talents besides just voice acting. Like, I know some of you guys are singers, models, audio engineers. I tell you, listen, I'm getting too excited here. Hold on. Let me get on my thoughts. Sometimes the voice actor isn't all that you do. I know a few of you guys who sing like anime songs and everything. Some of you guys are artists. Y'all like to geek out and just build stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's really amazing that you guys have more talents to just voice acting. Because that's like, you gotta have more talents than voice acting. Because you know how often I see so many people like Kira Buckland. She has like hair and everything. Like we customize her hair, all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, she has to do something else than voice acting, right? Is it? I have to know. Kaylee Mills. She's a singer. She has pink hair. I was like, I'm just venting here.
No,
out.
It's cool. It's super cool. What is it? The one that impressed me recently was Alex Lee. Alex Lee's what is it? I didn't know Alex Lee was an artist, graphic artist. So when I saw his design for his suit for the Demon Slayer premiere, I was like, that's crazy. I had no idea you could do that.
I was like, he did this stuff from scratch. Like,
yeah,
he didn't need any help.
Yeah, it's crazy. What is it? Yeah, the sheer level of talent with everybody. What is it? Dakota James as well. Dakota James was a really, really, really good businessman. And then what is it? He has this coaster business, and I actually have one of them on my desk. What is it? This Sonic.
Oh
coaster.
My God, that is amazing.
Yeah, so he makes coasters like this, and he sells them at cons. It's really cool. Really, really cool.
Oh, man, I can never do the art stuff. I think I'll just stick to what I'm good at. Now, if I do get into art or something, or maybe just put a system together, then sure. But I think I'm doing a great job with this whole thing. So,
no, keep it up. Keep it up.
I guess because me and my dad had a conversation. Don't forget, back then you didn't want to do journalism. He was like, "Oh, whatever, Dad," kind of thing. But now that I'm doing the podcast, and guess what? 2 days ago, I actually started my own Substack. So I was going to upload some stories from all the conversations I've been having with you guys. I was like, maybe I should start a Substack.
Yeah, do it. Why not, right?
So I was like, everybody else is doing it. And I'm guessing, journalists, you like to report stuff in the stories, what's going on in our world today. They use Substack. So I started a Substack.
Might as well. Yeah.
So sorry, man. I'm a little
Don't
excited.
Apologize. I'm enjoying the conversation. Don't apologize.
I'm jealous. I was like, I can't do what they did. I'll just stick what works for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's working so far.
Good. Yeah. No. It's you're doing a great job. Yeah. Keep it up.
So one lesson I did tell myself: don't try so hard to be something that you're not.
Well, what is it? Definitely. I don't know if this is it. Something I learned recently, which I learned from do you know who Bryce Pinkham is?
Oh yes, Bryce Pinkham. Yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up going to a con back in not this past January, but the January before, so 2024. And I ended up running into him, and he kind of like he was more or less like teaching me for like the span of a day, but like it was like spaced out. And so I ended up going to his booth, and he ended up sharing a quote with me, and it was play faster than your worry and louder than your critic. And that has really been a driving force in my career ever since he said that, of just like, if I don't know if I could do something, let's just try it. You know, like, I don't know what's going to happen, you know? So, you know, I think that, I think always challenging yourself and always just seeing where the road goes is something to do for sure.
And guess what? Even so, I'm still learning.
For
So-
sure. No, absolutely. No, absolutely. Keep going. Absolutely. Just, yeah, like keep growing, keep doing what you're doing.
Of course. All right, we're almost at the end of this session. Then we'll be at the halfway point. Sorry, the thing is, after the whole tech talk from the last class, I just started geeking out.
Oh, you're all good. Totally. Totally.
Every time it's something good, I just start being in one of my moods. Just be like, I want to do that. You know, you get
You're
get
excited.
it.
You're enjoying the talk. I am too. This is great. This is great.
I think you like this one. Who are your top 3 coaches or mentors, and what's the single most transformative exercise or note you got from them? I think Bryce Pinkham counts since you got that note from him. Or man, I'll let you do the talking.
I'll let him. I would definitely say Bryce is a teacher. Again, not like I would definitely say not a someone I can just keep going back to for that stuff. But I would definitely say that he was enough of a teacher in that day where I think I can call him a teacher. I wouldn't put it on a resume, but I would definitely say that at a point he was my teacher. I would say, what is it? One of my teachers, MLA Entertainment. Her name's Keiko. She was the first person to coach me. And she has had a very, very, very big impact in what I believe I'm capable of. And I think one of the things that we always talked about in coaching were anytime I thought I couldn't do something, she'd say, do it anyway. And I was like, okay. And so there were a lot of times when I went for auditions that I didn't know if I could do. And I didn't end up getting those roles, but I had those directors contacting me going, hey, listen, like that was like, you have fantastic range. And a lot of these things I wouldn't have been able to show them if I didn't. If Keiko hadn't pushed me. And so that ended up opening up other roles for me and other opportunities for me. And I think that Keiko really improved my confidence, and like me knowing that me being okay with knowing what I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if I can do it, and that should just excite me, and I should try it anyway, you know? So I'd say Keiko definitely pushed me for that. And then I think the last coach I would say that was really impactful was Richard Horvitz. Richard was very, 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 he's one of the friendliest people I think I've ever met in my entire life. There was definitely a time in this journey where I started to be less playful. And I started like losing that like the child who played the child on the playground side of me, you know, the person who's really like just enjoying the fun of it. And Richard's entire class pretty much was a crash course on how to have fun, and not even just in voiceover, but just in life in general. Just always be having a good time and always be aiming to have a good time, because that's where your best work's always going to be. So I'd say those 3 were definitely the most impactful.
Hey, listen, you always have to have mentors, whatever you do. And it's nice that you have those kind of connections that help you guide you do. You know, like sometimes I feel like, what am I doing this for? I just need someone to talk to. It's pretty much sometimes the mentors can be therapists. You just never know.
For sure.
And they guide you through very difficult challenges. Like, you know, sometimes, you know, back in college, I did have mentors myself. I had my professors who told me the do's and don'ts of journalism and media production, you know, media law, of course. and they help me understand, basically with this, you got your own thing, and you're telling your own story by interacting with people, understanding their stories to make this a bigger thing for everybody to enjoy.
Agreed. The sort of like passing of the torch of information, I feel, is always appreciated, and I always feel very, very, I don't know if honored is the right word, but I'll say honored. I feel honored when someone feels that they can trust me with the information that they have and know that I'm going to do something with it. It was another, actually, I was going to mention a fourth coach because, he's
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Cause I think all four of these have been equally as significant. I would say Richard Durden. He is the co-director of Project Eden's Garden. And even though he's not a acting coach, he's been a very big business coach for me, and very big in helping me be strategic about what things I get into, what I spend my time on, learning about just being a better freelancer, and knowing how to manage my time better. I think that he's been a really big inspiration for that, and he's also just a really chill guy. I'd say that's my fourth big one.
That's nice. Hey, listen, sometimes freelance stuff is where it at, lately. I'm like, I'm not into any big corporations because I want to be free to do my own thing, which is be my own independent journalist. So that's why sometimes, you see me like, people see me with a lot of like gear on me when I go to like conventions or any other like amazing places. Because next year I do have plans to go out of the country for a few years, see what's going on. Okay. I think it's most likely going to be Japan because let me tell you one thing first. I am about to be done with my cybersecurity program. So I went back to school to do cybersecurity.
Okay.
So I'll be done by Christmas, but I am learning a lot because I do like technology. Like I do like computers and everything. I want to understand more behind it because, most likely I might find something in Tokyo because, Tokyo is known for having a lot of expensive toys to play with.
For sure. So, yeah.
I think, but, what I can say is this. It's okay. Like if you feel like there's something else you need, it's okay to go back to school and learn something else.
I totally agree. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Continue. Because I
was saying there's nothing wrong with that.
No, definitely not. I think I think you should always be learning. I think that's something that when we're in school, when we're younger, we're always like, it's school, right? But like now that I'm older, I'm like, damn it, I wish I learned like 15 more of the 15. I wish I learned way more skills back when I was in school. That really could have just helped boost a lot of stuff here, which, like I can make up the time now, but it's like at the same time, I'm like, man, like I did not really understand the value in knowing what the hell I was doing. So there's a lot of skills that I definitely feel like if I had really taken the time to refine when I was younger, they would have definitely benefited now. But I'm starting to learn those things now. And I agree. I think you should always be learning. Always.
Yeah, we get to a certain crossroads in our life. Like I just turned 25 last month, so
hey, happy birthday!
Thanks. So, thing is, the more that I talk to you guys, because I know some of you guys, because I know now like you're my latest voice actor now. You're starting to see me more than just a fan here. Like I actually wanted, because back when I was in high school, I was just all for the entertainment. Like I didn't understand, but now that I'm starting to get like older and wiser, I want to like understand you guys' stories. What's it like? What life experience y'all had to go through? I just want, like, if I can spare at least 10 to 15 minutes talking to each and every one of you, if we can work something out, let's make it happen so we can have like these nice and genuine conversations. Because thing is, when I did my interaction with voice actor video, because I think you're familiar. Do you know Monica Real by any chance?
I've never met Monica, but I know of Monica, yes.
Okay, so here's what I learned after doing some of my research on her. She only does in-person interviews. She never does any digital interviews at all.
Interesting. Okay.
So I had to brainstorm, because I think, Jay, he was saying like, if you wanted to like go meet her at a convention and have a conversation, like I know there's like a few things like if I want to have a conversation with her, I'd be like, hey, Monica, I want to have a few minutes to talk to you. What can we do about this?
Gotcha.
That's the question I always come up to you guys and ask, what can we do about this? If I can just spare at least a few minutes, not even if it has to be at least 10 minutes, because I know how conventions are, because you got to have a press pass or anything, but sometimes I'm not where I'm at yet. It's a work in progress, but I want to enjoy where I am right now. I don't want to rush. But yeah, like if I can just spend at least a few minutes talking to you guys at conventions or at home, let's find a way to make it work.
Absolutely. No, I think I like what you said there about like liking where you're at and staying there for a second, because I feel like there's something that one of the things with like, so it's not quite the same, but it's a lot of voice actors who get like that imposter syndrome you were talking about earlier. They feel like when they get to a goal, they immediately have to jumpstart and go get the next one, and it's like, no, like enjoy this one for a second, like let yourself like enjoy what you've accomplished up till now. Like obviously keep going for it, but like like give yourself a second, breathe. And I like that you said that, because I think that yes, what you've done here is great, and I think that you're doing a great job, and I think you should definitely go for that thing. But I also appreciate you saying like like I'm okay, I'm good with where I'm at right now. I think that's really important in growth as well. But no, I think that when you get to that opportunity to start going to conventions like that those in-person meetups and then being in that atmosphere is going to be so fun, and I think that you're going to enjoy it a lot.
So like I said, if I can't speak to her now, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, let's just focus on what I can do for right now.
For sure. Yeah. No,
remember, like enjoy the small moments in life. Don't like the big moments. It's just noise, because once the big moment's over, we're back to our daily lives.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So it's nothing special. Guess what? Fridays, I made a thing now that every Friday I go out for ice cream.
Oh shit. Okay, I like that tradition.
So yeah. So I last week I went to Ben and Jerry's. I might try Cold Stone this time.
What's your favorite ice cream?
I would have to say mint chocolate chip.
That's good. What is it? Cookie dough would be mine.
Yeah, sometimes I switch back and forth to the sweet stuff, and then but I might have to try a sherbet one, because I haven't had a sherbet ice cream in a while.
Sherbet.
It's like a fruity ice cream.
Okay. I think I'd like that then. Yeah, sherbet. Hold on. Is that like a brand or?
No. It's like an individual ice cream. It's not a brand. It's part of like the ice cream shop.
Sherbet ice cream. I see it. Okay, that looks so good.
Yeah, told you. Yeah, when I went to Ben and Jerry's, I tried that new flavor. It was purple and it had brownies and cookie dough in it. It was called Shades Off.
Ooh, that sounds really good. You said Ben and Jerry's had that? I'm gonna look that up too really quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Jerry,
it's there.
Shades Off, you said?
Yeah, it should be purple. If I don't get the name wrong, it should pull itself up.
I'm not seeing it.
You don't see it?
No, Shades Off, you said?
Yes. And that doesn't want to just type in like the Shades Off purple ice cream kind of thing. If the name comes out wrong, I apologize, but I think that's what it was called.
Ooh, okay, wait. I think we're getting there. Ultraviolet ice cream?
Yes. That's what it is. Ultraviolet ice. That's the ultraviolet ice cream.
Okay, that looks insane, and that looks awesome.
You try it.
Yeah, that looks insane. I love that. Yeah.
The ice. Yeah, trust me, they got the ice cream Ben and Jerry's. So if you have a Ben and Jerry's near you, go check it out.
I do actually. What is it? I will go check that out.
Yeah. So yeah. Every Friday, I just go out for ice cream.
I love that tradition so much. I'll talk to my boyfriend about doing that. That sounds fun.
Go out for ice cream. Go out. Friday is a good day to go out for ice cream.
It is a good day for to go out for ice cream. You're right. So. Yeah, you've inspired me.
I try my best.
Ice cream's good. We we had a bowling alley we went to every Saturday when we were in college. And like right outside the bowling alley was this ice cream place that we would go to every Saturday. So I do miss that. So yeah, I might revive an old tradition there.
All right, we're officially at the halfway point. Sorry if I talked a lot, but it was a good section right there. Now you ready for this one? We're doing some character work, deep dives.
Okay, sounds good.
So let's deep dive into Losblender. I
Okay.
may be a guild receptionist. How did you find his core motivation and physicality, and how did that translate to voice choices?
So Manny gave me a pretty good idea because I had looked up a lot of stuff on Lowe beforehand. I was unfortunately I was out of town at the time that I had gotten cast, so I didn't get a lot of time to really prep. But the research I was able to do was that Lowe was definitely the big brother sort of character of the group. As much as Jade was the leader, Lowe was sort of like the vibe check for everybody, is like the way I like to describe it, where he is like the essence of what being a member of a group like the Silver Shield would be. And so I felt that it was important to play Lowe in a way where he had all of the qualities of someone who was very supportive of his friends, someone who was brave, someone who was selfless, someone who was basically big brother, like very, very protective older brother. And that was more or less what Manny had given the notes of as well. So I was really happy I hit that right on the mark. But yeah, Manny had basically said that older brother vibe. I want that. He's like, I want that through the whole show. I want that to be who you are. I want that to be that your position in this group. So I would say that's where a lot of my stuff for Lowe came from.
Okay. Well, hey, I guess you had to find yourself first with this character before you had the character had to find you. Pretty much like in that kind of scenario. But yeah, I know that most of these characters, and going back to our earlier conversation about researching the character, you need to understand their, like, what are their attributes? Do they have certain character attributes in this show or film that you're doing? That way you'll know what to expect as soon as the recording session starts. Because I know, because most of these characters will have like some sort of backstory. Like everywhere, listen, every show that I watch, there's a backstory. And listen, like I said, back when I was a kid watching Toonami and all that stuff,
yeah,
I just like the entertainment. But again, I'm older now, so I'm trying to understand what's the context behind this episode I'm watching. Like, what's the context between all this that I'm watching? So that I say, okay, now I understand what happened in this episode, and I'm starting to understand the information behind it, because there's more than just characters on the screen.
Agreed. And I will say there was a little bit of difficulty with Lowe in that as well, because a lot of the source material was being written while we were doing the show. So Lowe's backstory is actually in like none of what we did. So it sounds like there's potential for a season 2 to come out, so I'm really excited for that. But that actually gets into more of what Lowe's backstory was, which wasn't fully written at the time when we were doing the character. So there were a lot of details, unfortunately, I was missing. But what is it? I think the vibe is more or less going to stay the same, and I think it's because of that early homework that me and Manny both did.
I think it should get a season 2. I heard good things about it. If they don't come out with season 2, shame on them.
Yeah.
So they need to, because listen, as I continue watching Crunchyroll, I'm trying to be very diverse in my watch list. I've been trying to, because most I've been watching like the Shonen Jump, but I have been watching some slice of life stuff. Been watching some slice of life movies. Weathering with You has touched my heart so badly, man. I just couldn't keep the emotion back.
With You,
Weathering with You. It's a film by G Kids, because it was talking about how this girl controls the weather and all that stuff. It's really an emotional film. So the more I watch these certain categories like slice of life, isekai stuff, I start to understand, the story behind of why they're doing all this. Yeah,
what is it? I it's funny because Weathering with You, I've actually seen this everywhere, and I did not know what it was called. So this will definitely be on my watch list very, very soon. But yeah, I think that I think I've definitely have found a lot more. Not saying I didn't originally, but I think that in theater, you're a storyteller, but you also only see you see the whole play, right? But you're so used to seeing your individual role in those stories that you kind of get sucked into where am I at in this moment with being in theater. But I think something I've really appreciated about anime is you get kind of the full picture when you start. And that's started to be like a very big thing I appreciate.
Yeah, I'd say it's really amazing that you worked. I know you had to work your heart and soul into getting these roles, but it's nice that you keep doing that kind of stuff today, because listen, I know as the years progress, there's going to be lots of more stories coming out.
Sure.
And that means more opportunities for you to do. Like keep telling those stories.
No, I agree. I think that I think we're only getting started with some of the things that we're going to see in terms of how much media is coming out. I mean, a good example being indie productions. Like indie animation is getting huge to a point where, you know, we have Amazing Digital Circus, we have Hell of a Boss Has Been Hotel, we have Murder Drones, we have Lackadaisy, and then there's I mean, that's a lot of like Glitch Productions and Spindle Horse, but I think that we're starting to get to what I've coined the animation renaissance, where we're going to start seeing a lot more of those stories pop up in a very, very, very rapid way. And I think that goes the same for a lot of indie games as well. And then I feel like a lot of those people who work on all of these things are going to start moving into bigger production studios like Crunchyroll, like Disney, like all of these really big studios. And then some of them are going to start making their own giants. And it's going to be something. It's going to be a time for sure. I think we're definitely coming onto a very, very big part in art history very soon.
Well, I will say this: it's an endless universe out there.
For sure. I think even more so than it was before by a long shot. Yeah.
All right, number 12. You're gonna like this one because this is a My Hero Academia Vigilantes question.
Yes. Okay.
For Mario Kugutsu and My Hero Academia Vigilantes, what was your process for matching the tone of an established franchise while still making the role your own?
I was a huge fan of Vigilantes. It is my favorite manga series of all time. I have the entire series on my bookshelf. That was actually my North Star since I started voice acting. Was I wanted to be in Vigilantes, and I wanted to basically align my course to be in that show, as if it were to ever be a show, to be in that show as best as I possibly can. And so I actually had heard the sign that the rumor that Vigilantes might be a thing. And I was like, okay, I think it's time to start moving down here. And I had a couple of friends be like, oh, I think it was an April Fool's joke. And I'm like, but it came out in July though. I think that those rumors might be true. Either way, I let it kind of take control, and I started moving my business towards being down here. Yeah, I'm so thrilled to be in Vigilantes. Mario Kugutsu, for matching his energy, I remembered when I had gotten cast. Like at first I had forgotten the name, and then I had read his description. I went, oh, this dude. Because he's the dude that like kicks off the story, and like he's like the villain that really helps kick off like the direction of where the story is going to go. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm excited about this. So as far as portraying him, I remembered him being real creepy in the manga. So I went back into the manga to read it again, and I went, yep, I'm right. He's totally creepy. And when we got into the studio and we started working on his character, and when I had done that scene where he had the big old snake tongue and he's like, my lovely dolls.
Wow.
Oh god.
I remember that scene. That was insane when I first saw it.
Yeah, it was fun to record. And Zach Bolton, he was directing me at the time. And he was like, you know, like there's this weird like tongue noise. You know, if you don't know if you can do it, like just like let us know. Maybe we'll put something over it or whatever. And I'm like, I got this. And so he was like, okay. And so I did the tongue sound, and he just goes, ugh.
Wow, that's amazing. I could tell that was really exciting because since you're a fan of the series, and yes, the final season of My Hero started. You know, I've been a fan of My Hero since 2016. You know, my cousin introduced me to the show, and that got me enthralled and hyped. You know, high school years. But now it's like, oh, end of a decade. That show's about to end soon. I But here's the thing. One thing I am happy about is that they're really putting the time and effort to doing these spinoffs. Because I was like, there's Vigilantes. Isn't there an anime show for that? It didn't come until 2025. And I was like,
Yeah.
when I saw the teaser trailer for the first trailer for Vigilante, I was like, okay, now
Yeah.
you've got my attention.
Yeah, because what is it? There's a lot of spoilers for My Hero in Vigilantes. What is it? It goes over it's like I believe it's, if I'm remembering right, it's like 2 to 5 years before main series.
Yes.
Yeah.
It takes place before the main series.
Yes. And so a lot of the backstory stuff with Aizawa and then his classmate friend who went missing, which I won't spoil for the podcast, but a lot of that stuff is explained and talked about in Vigilantes. And so it made sense to me why they left it out for so long, because it straight up would get rid of all the, like, a ton of the plot twists from main series.
I know, and that's what I learned about when they do these spin-offs, like prequels. Every time they do a prequel, there's going to be spoilers for the main series. So I started to understand, okay, now I understand why they waited this long to release the spin-off series Vigilantes, because there's so many spoilers for the main series, and they didn't want to do that. They wanted to do that as soon as they got started with the final season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah, and that's
2025. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I understand the reasons now.
Mm-hmm. It was weird. Like I remember thinking it was weird when I had first like thought of like how long it was taking them, but then like when I finally was like, but then again, this and that would be like ruined. Yeah, screw it. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's nice. But yeah, I understand. If y'all doing spinoffs, don't drop a TV show until we do the main thing, okay?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
So, next question. You do lots of additional voices, and you do pick one background, ad lib you love. How do you create a distinct identity for a 2-line character so it still feels lived in?
I feel like you just kind of get a vibe for it, and that's kind of a weird answer from what I've said, but the director is good at when there are additional voices and there are background voices. Typically, the director like gives you a full vibe of what's happening in the scene, so I don't have to do as much research on that front. And typically you can't, because you kind of get pulled into the studio and then you just kind of get told what you're doing. So as far as that went, like a good example was Night of Living Cat, where I had like no idea what Night of the Living Cat was about. But I had been called in, like I was called in like the night right before, and I had work. So I was like, I don't really have time to research this. So when I went in, they gave me a vibe of it, and I had a good time. It was fun. But yeah, you kind of just that's where it's important to rely on the director and rely on the team behind it, of like, you know, they wouldn't call you in if they didn't think you could do it. So, you know, there's something here that they believe is like you're right for, in terms of making the atmosphere feel alive. And so that's what I would say in terms of making those characters feel alive, is just trusting the team, trusting what their vision is, and let it like really fully paying attention to what it is they're telling you, and then trying to give the best kind of cold read interpretation that you can. I will say the most fun one I've ever done, the funniest one I've ever done, was me and I forgot his last name, but Connor. Do you know what Connor? Glasses. Hold on.
Yeah, it's not Amber Lee Connors, right?
No.
I'm to say that's not the only Connors I know. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Let me see. I want to make sure I get their name right.
Yeah, take your time, man. We gotta make sure we got the name right now.
Yeah, why is it not? Wait, they're a Facebook friend. Hold on. Connor. They're not popping up. I'm sad.
Is it Connor Lee? Wait, that's not a person. Hold on.
Oh, it's gonna destroy me. Hold on.
Take your time, man. I'm in no rush.
Oh, no worries. What am I thinking of? Hold on. He was a lead in last season at Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll.
You said it was last name Connor, right?
Yes. Well, his first name was Connor. Summer season 5. Let's see. He was the main character in one of the main characters in Cultural Exchange with a Game Center Girl was the name of the show.
Is it Connor Allison?
Maybe. Yes, Connor Allison. Yep. So
okay, I pulled him up.
Perfect.
I pulled him up.
Perfect.
I put him up.
Thank you for that. What is it? Yeah, so Connor Allison, we were in Yakuza Fiance for backgrounds. And there was this aquarium scene, and I've gone back and I've tried to like re-listen to it to see if you can hear us in the back, and you can't. But me and Connor, we were told that we could play any character we want as long as it fits the vibe. And we were like, okay. And so I just go, hey man, isn't this aquarium crazy? And he's like, yeah, man. So we kind of kept going back and forth with that. And I was like, so what do they got here? And he's like, I think they got fish, bro. Fish? Oh, that's crazy, bro. And so we were just kind of like sounding like these surfer dudes in the background. And then at one point, Connor goes, yo, you think they have turtles here? And he's like, I'm like, yo, turtles? That's crazy. I hope they have turtles here. And and he's like, and so it's just this scene where we're going back and forth about that. At one point, we talk about like buying hot dogs, and Connor goes, how many hot dogs do you want? I said 3. He said, you need 3 hot dogs? I was like, yeah, for you, for me, and for the turtle. And he's like, yo, the turtle. And so I think it was like a 2-minute scene that we just went on with this turtle rant.
That is hilarious. I mean, you gotta have animals and comedy in these shows now.
Oh, for sure. What was it? Jade Saxton after it was like, what is this with the turtle? What is going on? And we were just like, it just came to us. Like, we just did it. And so
Jade Saxton, an absolute delight.
Jade's wonderful. Yeah, I've every single time I've worked with Jade, it's been a fun time. Yeah.
I was like, isn't she the director for Vigilantes? I figured
there were a couple of directors for Vigilantes because Zach Bolton was mine. But I know they switched out for a couple of people, so I'm not too sure. She probably worked on it.
She's probably the director for the main cast, I can tell. But yeah, the turtle, I was like, she was trying to figure out what's with the turtle obsession.
Yeah, she stopped. Like the scene finally ends, and she just goes, "Okay, what the hell is with this and the turtle?" And we came to us, and she's like, "Well, it works." So, yeah, so we know she kept it. I just haven't been able to actually like hear it in the scene.
Oh man, I might have to go check that out for myself.
Yeah, it's Yakuza Fiance aquarium scene. It's like halfway through the series somewhere, like episode 14 or something like that.
Okay, I'll go brainstorm.
Let's go.
So, all right, number 14. When voicing multiple characters in the same project, how do you keep them distinct? Like it's not the same person without overdoing caricature. Any go-to anchors, pitch, rhythm, or posture?
I would say objective. Your objective as a character will always determine kind of the feel that you give off. As much as like rhythm, pitch, and rhythm and pitch help a lot. I think that when you're thinking in the mindset of a different character, those things kind of happen naturally. And there's this like what Corey Wilder told me is there's this like Clark Kent effect that happens when you do that, where because they feel atmospherically like different people, people just kind of assume that they are. So yeah, that'd be my answer to that.
Okay. Because listen, I know there are so many people who voices like so many different characters in a series. Like, okay, take Sean Shamil and Chris Sabat, for example, Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Sean Shamil voices Goku and King Kai, and he changes the vocals in his voice every time. So that's why it's not the same person. Now, Christopher Sabat, Piccolo and Vegeta, they sound the same, but they changed their voice. how are they able to do that? Like, did they have like some kind of voice modulator or something? Like, it's not me. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
it's
just felt it's
yeah,
just
it's
like it's like did he just like try to straighten their voice a little bit?
I guess, once they get the voice lived in for a while, it does end up sounding just like natural tone. Um, and yeah, I think as like for Piccolo and Vegeta, Piccolo is often very like quiet, and so he can kind of go into it like not quiet, but he's very like relaxed. And Vegeta is always kind of like yelling or being like somewhat bombastic in most settings. So I feel like because of that shift, that's helping a lot. And then objective as well, where the objective is kind of leading them as well of like what it is their character is trying to do. I feel like that kind of ends up changing the atmosphere completely.
Okay. Because I came up with that question for you because you voiced so many characters, and I just wanted to be like, how does he do it? All these characters, he just strained them. It's too much for my brain to process here.
No, yeah. What is it? I'm trying to. So I know. It's a bad example. Atomic Owl was one of them. The reason I say bad example is because that one it was a very drastic change in pitch. So my point kind of gets lost there. But what was it? There's a video game called Atomic Owl where I voiced one of the main characters and then I voiced the main villain. And those were using two different like one of them was kind of like a gremlin character. He was talking like this the whole game.
And then the second character was talking in this sort of British tone, and it was like goobity gobbity.
Oh my god. Oh my god. And so y'all come up with all kinds of maneuvers and tricks in your own home studio.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that one was funny because that one was back when me and my roommate were living together. He and I were doing an audition. He was like, you should use your voice, you should use your neck as like a flute. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like maybe put like different pressure on different parts of your neck and see if like different voices come out or different noises happen. And I was like, okay. And so eventually
We got to this, which is right above my Atom's apple, and it just sort of stays there. And the thing is, and people don't know this, but I can't not talk in a British accent when I have this, because the thing making it easier for me to speak, normally, at least the way that I do, is being controlled from this point. So it's just, I basically have to talk in a British accent when I talk like this.
Oh my gosh. I swear to God. Okay, now you got just I need okay, going forward, every time I come to your voice chat, I need to know how y'all do these multiple voices, because I'm speechless.
Well, I'm glad. I'm happy I can present that to you.
Man, but that's very interesting. It's nice that you have all kinds of tricks at your disposal. You know, you have to use the tools in your toolbox.
Agreed. Yeah.
So use that, and then it won't be like, oh, he's the same voice. It's the same voice character, all that stuff. It'll be tricky, because then when the credits roll, they'll be like, wait, it's the same person. How did we not catch this?
That's what is it? That audition I was telling you about earlier. That's actually one of them where they're asking for something that's very, very low register, and I don't typically do low register, but I'm like, you know what? I really want to challenge myself, and I want to go for that. So, and that's actually one of the reactions I hope people would have if I were to book something like that, where like they go, "Oh, damn, that was a cool voice. Who was that? Oh, that's Dakota. What the hell?" Yeah, no, I would love that.
Oh boy. Well, I better keep picking y'all brains then. You made me want to stay in and keep talking to more voice actors and pick their brains.
Let's go.
So, we're at the end here. So, industry growth and fun rapid fire.
Okay.
So, now number 16. What's one negotiation or business mistake you make early on that you warn newcomers about?
I would say not knowing when to say no. There are a ton of projects out there, and if you are uncomfortable with the direction that a project is going, and it just doesn't align with your values, and it doesn't align with who you want to be as an actor and what you want to represent, it is okay to walk away, because there are plenty of other projects that you could be trying out for. and you'd be spending your time on. If I would say there were many projects I got into when I first started where I didn't necessarily have the super strict attention to detail oriented side of what I was going for. At least for the first couple of projects, I learned it pretty quickly to jump into being more strategic. But like those first couple of projects, I was like, ooh, okay, I'm not about this. I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna get out of there. But for a second there, I didn't know if I could do that, if that would like screw up my reputation. But no, there's a lot of projects out there. If you're not comfortable with how something is moving, how something is being presented, then there's no reason that you can't say no.
And listen, I would say just take it, because you never know if another opportunity might show up.
Well, that's
Just
the thing.
saying.
That's the thing, though, is right. Is like there are a lot of auditions. There's hundreds, like every like week. There's hundreds of them, and like I personally think that if you want your name to be if you don't want your name to be represented by something, then it shouldn't. What is it? I think the same way about what is it? We'll back up on that. Actually, I was going to say a point, but maybe it's not appropriate for this. But yeah, I would say like if let's say there's like, let's say if a project is not being run professionally, if there's a lot of shady people in it, because I've definitely run into people who definitely try to take advantage of actors. If it's just not hitting your vibe, actually, I'll give a good example. There was a project. It was one of my first, and it was for a video game, and we had found out that the individual who was making it, like a month later after we had all gotten onto it, was doing this thing called asset flipping, which isn't wrong to do, but it's wrong. But he was doing it illegally, where he was taking the assets, saying that he made them, and then basically not crediting any of the artists that were involved in it. And I was like, that's screwed up. And then on top of it, there was a big like boss fight thing that he had presented to us in a meeting at one point, and saying like, oh, this is like the production quality that we're going for. And so we were like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And one of the people in the group noticed there was something up with it and messaged all of us VAs about it. And it was like, hey guys, this is totally a ripped boss from Dark Souls. And we were like, what? And so he showed us a video side by side of what the boss chamber looked like from what the director had said, and literally Dark Souls. And they were identical. Like in every capacity, they were identical. And so that's where we were all like, oh, you better have a good explanation for this one, or we are skedaddles. And so that ended up being what happened. He didn't have a good explanation, and he assumed that because he paid for something, he just owned it. And he owned it, and then he technically then was the artist who made it. And we're like, that is not how that works. So that was an issue that we had. That's an extreme example, but in like a very clear, like, walk away from it. But basically, if you're uncomfy, if you're uncomfy with a project and you're uncomfy with how it's being run, that is more than enough of a reason for you to walk away from it, because the last thing you want is it to screw up your reputation.
I tell you, these guys are just so lazy to just try to do something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if there's one thing that I can't tolerate, is people who don't put in the work to do these things. Like, this stuff is an art. Like, this stuff takes time. You don't steal somebody else's.
Yeah, like the thing is, buying assets, I have no problem with that. It's taking assets and then acting like you made them, and that's where I have problems. And we fully explain that. We're like, you can't just take assets and then they're just yours. Like, you can't just say that you made them, you came up with them, da 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 da. And they said, but yeah, I can, because I paid for them. And we're like, all right, we're out. All right, bye. See ya.
That's insane. It's nice that you brought that up, because there was a situation that happened at Anime Expo. I think you're familiar with Anime Expo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was in California. I don't know if you've ever been to one before, but there was this person who had an interview with the person who does Viz Media, like the owner of Viz Media. He had an interview with him. He had his printouts, his camera, and everything. Unfortunately for him, somebody stole all of his equipment, his previous printouts and everything. It's like at least almost $10,000 worth of equipment. So
what?
I know, right? And I was like, that's a lot of hard work that he had that stuff for like 5 years, and all of his work is gone.
When was this? Wait, how long ago was this?
It was during Anime Expo back in July.
That's crazy. What?
Yeah, so like somebody stole off his gear. And his printouts.
People are crazy. That's screwed up.
Yeah,
That's
his
like
stuff, his gear. Like he had everything ready for his interview with the Viz Media person. And then somebody just took off his equipment. So when I saw that pissed me off. So,
no, totally. That's like that. No, I feel like my blood boiling from that. That's crazy. No, that's
you know, as you can see, Dakota, I have so much expensive equipment. Well, you know, mine is here. I have like my microphones I'm using. I got my, you know, my Rode wireless microphones, the Pro. I got like 2 sets of microphones. I got my GoPro camera. That's pretty much a lot of equipment I'm carrying on me. Listen, every time when I go to a big convention like that stuff does not leave my body because everything is like on my strap. Like I don't take my straps off. Like it's like my sling bag. I just strap it on. Like I strap my GoPro stabilizer on my sling bag, and none of that stuff leaves my body.
You're smart for that. Yeah, no, that's crazy. You would hope people would be better than that, but unfortunately there are just a lot of opportunists out there who just will try their best to take anything they can.
Yeah, and I did mention him about that situation. He did put up a GoFundMe. I think he's almost got enough money to replace all the equipment that he lost, because that was like years worth of equipment that he was hoping to like have so he can interview the person at Viz Media. And now it's just all gone out the window because stupid people do stupid things and decide to just steal someone else's work and just try to make it like their own. Like, y'all, stop.
That screws me up. Yeah, that screws me up. Yeah.
So just listen, as heartbreaking as it is, you know, and that's what I said in my story, as heartbreaking as it is, it's just another constant reminder that watching out for each other and watching ourselves and each other's back has to be part of the experience now.
100% agreed. 100% agreed.
Like, going to these conventions is fun, but you gotta stay alert as well.
100%. No, I did not realize that it had gotten that bad where they're stealing stuff like that from people. That's crazy.
So yeah, full story. The full story is on the website if you want to go take a look at that later. But it's a really heartbreaking story that his stuff was stealing at Anime Expo. It was just a lot of equipment. His name is Manny, but all of his equipment was just poof, gone.
Oh yeah, I see the GoFundMe. Yeah, that's messed up. I'm glad that people are helping out though. That's really great.
But yeah, all this stuff I have on me, like when I go to conventions, like I have a magnet on here. I got magnets, so it clips on my shirt, and all the other stuff, like my GoPro camera, it doesn't leave my body.
Yeah, that's smart.
So, but yeah, like what you're going through with that situation with the guy who purchased stuff, y'all don't take somebody else's work. Come up with your own original project. That's what I always tell people.
Yeah, because it's like, what are you doing it for? If you're just it's not. How can you be like artistically satisfied, like in that way? Because isn't the point of the art that you're supposed to like? I don't know. Like, hold on. Let me get my thoughts together.
Take your time, man. We're both venting here.
Yeah, because it's the same stuff with AI. Like, there's nothing satisfying about it. Like, there's like you made this image in 2 seconds by like filling out a prompt, but what is it? The types of people that always crack me up are the ones that go, it's actually really hard to make a good prompt for an AI. And it's like, okay, but like the AI is doing all the work. You're just writing a sentence and then it's doing all the work for you. You're not like, people using the terms like AI artist. It's not, you're stealing other people's work, having a thing make it for you. You're not an artist. You made a sentence that like you wrote a sentence for another thing to do all the work. I don't understand it.
You guys are frauds.
100%. I'm like, you're not an artist. You're not an artist if you do that.
Yeah, and listen, it's like this, and listen, when something like that happens, like any kind of situation that just makes me upset or uncomfortable, I'll be like, see, this is why we still talk. This is why I have a podcast. This is why I have to keep making videos because of stupid shit like this.
Yeah.
It's got to stop.
It's a pain for sure. Yeah.
So I didn't want to see my angry reaction.
No,
but,
you're good.
You know,
No, I mean it should make artists mad. You know, it should make everybody mad that people try to, I don't know, like people put in like the minimal effort and then they act like they're in the same league. Like they're not. You're not. Like you don't, like you are, like you're to use an AI that does everything for you. You are not an artist. An artist spends years and years and years perfecting their craft. You typed something into a prompt and it made something for you. That's not the same thing. You did the equivalent of a Google search.
exactly. And listen, like I said, great things take time. Like, did you actually think that once I started this whole talk show that it was going to be great overnight? No, it's going to take years.
It takes a while.
So-
It takes
so-
time.
As I said before, enjoy the path that you are on now, because when you get to bigger levels, you're gonna have a lot more time on your hands and busy.
You too,
So-
bud. You too, bud.
Exactly. How do you balance freelance hustle, auditions, networking with long-term skill building? What's a weekly routine you swear by?
It's funny because it's like, it's not really like, I don't know. It's not really a routine anymore. It's kind of like, it's like a measured chaos is like the best way I can put it, where it's, I've built up a good enough clientele over the years where at this point, I honestly don't I don't actually audition as much as I used to. Typically I end up getting a lot of stuff from like referrals and just past contacts I've worked with. And like, you know, I still audition, but I would definitely say it's not like I used to audition 2-3 times a day. I would try to get to 5 every day if I could, but you know, it with other jobs it gets busy. But nowadays, like I would say I audition 2 or 3 times like a month. Like I end up, but it's my schedule is still packed throughout all of that time as I'm doing that. So yeah, I would say it's not really a routine anymore. It's more of I've been able to build up such a network that a lot of this stuff kind of works itself out, and I can kind of find a way to like dance through the storm.
Well, hey, it had to start like a routine, but then it turns to something on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like that kind of transformation. Of course, it takes time, as I said before. Yeah, you get the picture.
No,
It's
for
nice.
sure. For sure.
All right. Now, number 18, this is a really important question, okay?
Mhm.
Where do you want your career to be in 5 years? Types of roles, mediums, or collaborations you're chasing?
Well, so I want to be, so one of my biggest goal right now is I want to be full-time, because I have been working a full-time job and then a crap ton of indie for about 3 years now, and almost 4. And there were, in the first 3 years, I was trying to clock between 60 to 80 hours of work in a week from all forms, all of those mediums. And so I was doing that very consistently for a very long time, working that many hours. And it was killing me. It's still kind of, I am still pretty exhausted right now, but I'm starting to like take more like time to re-energize. But I would say the biggest goal for me right now is I want this to be my life. Like I want this stuff to be like I want it to be the thing I wake up to and the thing I leave to go to bed to. Like I want it to be in every single facet of my day, and I want to enjoy just living in this creative world. I love the lab job. So I work at a laboratory. I love the laboratory because I feel like I'm helping people every day. But at the same time, eventually I need to move on to this pursuit. Where I want to be in 5 years, there's a couple of shows I definitely want to be in before they end. I want to have been in Blue Lock as a prominent character. I want to be in Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone's one of my favorite shows of all time. I would like to be in one of the Persona games. I'd like to work for Glitch. Glitch would be a really big company to work for, and I think I could definitely provide something that they would enjoy. And yeah, I'd like to start working more AAA jobs, more AAA. I want to work with Nintendo at some point. I want to work with Sega. I've always wanted to be Big the Cat. That's another one that I've always wanted to be.
Okay.
Big the Cat, I feel like I could play very well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say those are a bunch of the North Stars that I'm shooting for right now.
Well, one thing I will tell you this, and again, back to saying stuff takes time. You want to make sure that you have a certain foundation to keep doing the stuff you're doing. Like I know with me, as far as me talking to you guys, I'm back in school doing cybersecurity. I want to make sure I have a foundation to keep funding. Like I have some sort of income to keep doing what I like doing, which is like journalism, like talk to you guys. And here's the thing. One thing I have learned is that some of the places like Crunchyroll, Netflix, Sega, Nintendo, they have cybersecurity jobs.
Yeah.
And I was doing my research. I was like, they have jobs like there. There's also sometimes even the anime productions in Japan, they also have cybersecurity jobs. So basically, it all dials down to making sure you plan everything out. Do the research, like write down a list, to-do list. Like, have I done this yet? Send out resumes, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think you're making this work, and you're trying to get to somewhere bigger. As far as I think the main key is persistence is key.
Yes,
you want to make sure you stay focused, no matter how far you may seem, but you're actually closer than you think you are.
Yeah, agreed. What is it? It can be a little bit uncertain when you look into the future, and you're not, you try to look into the future. You never know what's really coming your way ever. But you can definitely do your best to try and be prepared for it. And try to make sure you're making the right business moves in order for, if those opportunities work out and in the ways that you're not expecting them to, you still have ways to make the most of them when they do happen.
Of course. Listen, just always keep an eye out for any opportunities that come your way. Keep taking those opportunities. All right, 2 questions left, and then we'll be at the end here. Rapid fire time.
Okay.
Rapid fire. Answer one word for a short phrase. Favorite accent to perform. One vocal warm up you never skip. Favorite anime dub director you've worked with.
That last one's gonna be interesting. What is it? You said rapid fire. Hold on. Favorite accent, German. Favorite vocal warm up that I never miss is enunciations. I do this stretch with my mouth where I go A-E-I-O-U, and I look like a crazy person, but it stretches out my mouth, and I make sure that I'm hitting everything. And then the last thing, favorite director I've worked with, I'm gonna say 3. No, 2. I'm gonna say 2. I would say 2 of them are pretty neck and neck. What is it? Jason Lord and Manny Aragon have been fantastic, and I love them both.
There you go. That's a lot. Didn't know you do German accents too.
This is the German accent.
Hold on, it's been a little bit.
That football is round.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it too. No, I think actually I want to make sure I'm getting a lot better with German, because the next Blue Lock arc is working is with the German team. So everyone in there has a German accent. So I'm like, okay, I want to try and get that going so I have a shot at it.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of people. Because I think you've heard of Duolingo, right? Because people are because here's the thing: Crunchyroll teamed up with Duolingo a while back, so the team learned Japanese.
Really?
Yes, they did. They teamed up at least 3 years ago.
That's crazy. Yeah, I've never heard of that. That's awesome.
Yeah, they did, and guess what? I'm using Duolingo right now. I'm trying to learn Japanese before I go to Japan and all that
Let's
stuff.
go.
I'm on my 328 day streak. I still cannot get a single sentence yet.
Gotcha. I remember my roommate was having similar trouble because he was trying to learn Japanese too. I don't know. It's a complicated language.
You guys, listen. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Even if it takes 10 years, keep learning it.
Agreed.
Last question for fans and aspiring voice actors listening: what's a practical 2-week challenge you assign them to visually level up?
Now I'll have to repeat that one I did earlier because it's been I would say one of my saving graces for where I'm at right now. And that's every time that you do an audition, take 5 things that you know you could do better after you send it, because that's the best time to analyze it. Take those 5 things, move them into the next audition, make sure you're conscious of them when you're doing the next audition, and just keep doing that process over and over and over again. Do it for a month. You'll be much better by the end of the month. If it's 2 weeks, same thing.
That's sweet. I say, yeah, that will work.
Cool.
Oh, phew. Can't believe we almost talked for almost 2 hours.
I know.
That's crazy. I was like, it's almost 3 o'clock on my side. That's crazy.
I'm having a good time. I'm glad. I'm glad that we did.
So I just want to make sure I get every last pieces of information out of you. That goes for all my interviews. I want to make sure I got everything down.
For sure. Yeah, no, I like good conversation. And then, like I've told you before, I'm a golden retriever. I love talking. So like, this has been great. I'm enjoying this a lot.
I guess that wraps it up. So, yep.